Now, my issue is not based in no mean girl shit. It's not based in this, well, let's take the meat and let's eat the meat and throw away the bone. My issue is, it's always based in being, again, the right kind of black woman. And fuck it, here we go. My issue is, the black female form has always been tied to capitalism. We not gonna sit up here and act like, right, shame has not been a part of this black female experience. We not gonna sit up here and don't play in my face with all my 42 years about that. We not finna do that. Especially when we have record of women like Sarky Sarah Bartman, who was kidnapped and displayed all over Europe, naked. What we not finna do, right? What we not finna do, because some of y'all just won't air on the plantation. The dehumanization of black women didn't just start with Sexy Red. It didn't just start with Meg Thee Stallion. What y'all really don't want to confront, right? What y'all really don't want to confront is, y'all like when black female sexuality is tied to capitalism, especially when black men are running that, or when white men are running that. And then you want to wrap that up in dehumanization, as if dehumanization of black women is not ancient since the time of colonization. What y'all not gonna do, right? What y'all not gonna do is keep excusing this on some, well, if you could just do, now fuck all that. Now I understand that not every black woman is a monolith, not every black person is a monolith. Everybody has their own issues, traumas, hangups, and experiences. I get that. I'm grown. I can eat on this level. My reigning issue is, if you as a black woman going through this black woman experience, either by yourself, with sisters and tribe of your own creation, there should be something in you that should have empathy. There should be something in you that should say, my sister running that same race, let me just go ahead and just celebrate the fact that she winning.
So I hear your concerns, your pain, your passion, and even your frustrations. I hope that we can have a dialogue about it and we could kind of come to a general consensus. But if not, I appreciate your commentary, and I'm going to go ahead and comment the way that I see it. First, let's get this shit out the way. As a black woman of lighter melanated hue, I could never understand fully the trials and tribulations of a woman of darker melanated hue. I'm pretty much likened to a woman who is considered to be biracial or ethnically ambiguous. There are times when I am given privilege for absolutely no fucking reason. And then there are times when people are suspicious of me and untrusting of me for no fucking reason. And the times where I get the most distrust is from my own people. Okay? Shit. And this my mama. A lot of people say I look just like her. But either way, I'm not given a pass. It is my very complexion that makes me an outsider. Shit. But the good news is that this gives me a unique perspective. I'm able to see what it is like to operate in privilege, but I'm also able to see what it is like to operate in total denigration for no fucking reason other than this right here. Okay? And I think that this may help to expand perspective. Secondly, I never said that if you are a specific type of black woman, that this is going to somehow exempt you from being denigrated and from being dehumanized. I'm way fucking smarter than that. That was not my point at all. Now, whether or not that was Mrs. Dane's perspective, that remains to be seen. I can't speak to. What I can speak to is the fact that you stated that capitalism is the root cause of the problem. Okay, we can go with that. Capitalism being the root cause of the problem and the reasons why black women are marginalized and their bodies commodified in the system. Okay. But then in the same tongue, you go on to say, well, if we as women are going to be supportive of each other, especially Black women, when we see a Black woman winning in that very denigrating, very dehumanizing, very money hungry, and likely unbeneficial for the person that they are using, just like they use Sarah Barton to be a spectacle in a human circus. What do you think they are using someone like Sexy Red for? Meg the Stallion for? It's a different kind of human circus, right? So I'm supposed to celebrate that. You understand the core reason why it has happened. But do you understand that celebrating that is not a win? Realizing that it's not a win? It's actually an L for us. It's an L for us. We have adapted to dysfunction. And that's one of my main points, that we continue to adapt to dysfunction and call the shit culture.
I'm not, respectability politics is what I use. It's not who I am, because I'm not going to make it easy for you to get me. But I also can eat at the duality of this level of scholarship, meaning that I understand that I, as a 5'10", 200-pound Black woman, 100 some odd years ago, at age 42, I would still be expected before emancipation to keep having children. That were not born out of love. Can I just say that? The thing that gets me again, that ramps up the level of rage that I have about these kind of type ass conversations, y'all don't get to the root of it. The root of this is still capitalism. It's still being the right kind of Black.
As far as respectability politics, because we are already going down the wrong path, where you perceive my message to be that if we are the right kind of Black woman, we will then circumvent any violence, vile, cruel, heinous acts towards us, which was never my message in the first place. My message is that the system is still systeming. Okay. My message is that Sexy Red and others like her are still a part of the system. Okay. They are not to be taken as someone who we want to bring into our hearts and protect and covet their message, because they are another Black woman going through the same hurdles and problems that we as regular Black women are going through. No, they are not. They absolutely are not. They are not going through the same problems. They are not going through the same hurdles. They're not. They're signing contracts and getting checks for exploitation. They're a part of it. Just like when the CIA flooded crack into the community, and we understood that they were utilizing our brothers in order to help that pipeline grow. This is the same exact thing. So they ops, if you ask me. Further, I don't think the root of the problem is capitalism. I think the root of the problem is lack of identity, lack of culture. Capitalism is the only culture that most Black people know. And because capitalism is the only culture that most Black people know, sadly, they base their identity off of being able to cope and survive post-antiquity. But if we do our research and we understand our history, Black, number one, is a color. It's a color and a classification. African American points to dual citizenship. That is something that Jesse Jackson used as a point of propaganda. So what we are is we are chattel property. And what we are is people that have coped with and adapted to being chattel property. So our measurement for success is money. But what we lack is culture. For the most part, your ancestors probably look like this, or this, or this. We are a tribal people. And nationality, culture, and spirituality does matter. We have not defined Blackness in a way that is gratifying to anything other than the system itself. So you can be anti-Black at this point and actually be in your right goddamn mind. You know why? Because we are nothing more than a collection of reactions to a system. And some of that stuff is magical and some of it is good because our ancestors' bloods run through our veins. But we don't have a code of conduct. We don't have a philosophy. We're not connected to our right tribes. We're not connected to our right nations. And it starts with scrubbing that word black, because that's a color, baby. That's not a nationality.